Hello and welcome back to the Linux Panic YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to mine RYO coin to help with the Ukraine war effort. Anyway, welcome back. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. So let's begin with the video, shall we? So I'm going to show you how to set up the operating system HiveOS, which is a Ubuntu derivative, and I'm currently running it off a SD card which is plugged into my server, which I'm using as my mining rig at the minute. So first off, I'll show you where to download the HiveOS from. So we want to we'll just do a quick Google of HiveOS download. And it's going to say, hey look, here's how to install it and download. You want to ignore all of this, and if you're just running it off a USB stick on a computer, into a server or whatever, you want to use GPU and download it as a zip. Now this will take a while because it is 6 gigabytes. That might say 1.3 there, but it is 6 gigabytes once it's been unpacked. Since I've already downloaded that, I'll just cancel it. So what this will do is it is a stable version of HiveOS, so it'll run off both NVIDIA graphics cards and AMD graphics cards, which I find is so much easier than just finding individual software that may or may not work, because there are some with Linux, you can have some software that does work and doesn't work. I used to use a bit of software that now doesn't work, even though I haven't changed how I've done it. That is just down to, I'll just put that down to the fact I'm using a bleeding edge operating system as my Linux variation. Manjaro is a variation of Arch, which is bleeding edge, but that doesn't matter. Once you downloaded HiveOS, you'll be given a image. I stand corrected, it is 7.3 gigabytes worth. So once you've done that, you want to get a USB stick and then write the operating system to it using a imaging software. So in this case, we'll use Balena Etcher. Well, I use Balena Etcher. It's wonderful. It's open source. It's wonderful. I first came across it when setting up stuff for Raspberry Pi. So once you've got it, you want to go to HiveOS and then just say, hey, look, select a target. Seeing as mine currently isn't plugged in, I won't be using it. I won't be writing it, but seeing as it's already plugged in and running, but that is the process. Once it's done, it will take about 15-20 minutes because of the size of the file. So I recommend using an 8 gigabyte USB stick when it comes to writing the operating system. And then once you're done, say, hey, look, I'm done, and you can go from there. So once you've finished writing the operating system and you've logged into Hive, you've created an account and logged into HiveOS, you'll be greeted with a screen similar to this, but this won't be here, seeing as you haven't set up this will be here, just this won't be here because you haven't set up a farm and added a machine yet. So I'm going to walk through that process with you to show you how to do it. So first off, I want to start a shell in a box, which is just user, and then it is, let me just go grab the settings. So this password here will be changed after I'm done here, so don't have to worry about that. Press the browser. This is what you will see when you once you've set up and plugged in a graphics device of some sort, like you plugged in a monitor to your graphics card after the first launch. This is what you'll be greeted with when you boot for the first time. Now, I'm going to do the setup process all over again to show you what it looks like. So to begin with, we're going to go, so it's going to say, hey, look, here's what you can do, here's the commands. We are going to need to do first run -f, so it's going to be first run -f. Let's go. Okay, I'm going to grab all the updates that I may or may not need, and then I'm going to walk you through the process. Now, as this is an Ubuntu derivative, you can use software you would find with Ubuntu to run, and it would work fine. I currently have the Ubuntu firewall running on here. It just works absolutely fine, with no bothers at all. So this is what you will be greeted with. This part from here down is what you'll be greeted with when you first set it up. So all you need to do is hit enter to continue, and this is going to ask for your rig ID. Now to do this, you will need to go back to your farm, well, farm as it's called, because HiveOS is intended for like massive mining farms that have ASICs, FPGAs, just any computing power they can get to mining. In this case, I'm just using a server. I'm just using my old computer as a server. It works fine. So to add a new machine, it is just come up to here, click this button here, click add worker, add rig, and then connect an existing. Seeing as I already have what's there as an existing, that's there. So here's what we need to do. We need to go on your rig, enter the command first run -f, which we have done here, and then enter the rig ID. Now what this would be is, well, I'll tell you what, we'll just go straight for it. We'll go, okay, the rig ID is 4846674, so it's 4846674, and the password for this is this. Now the wonderful thing about Shell in a Box is you can just paste directly in. It's go, hey look, what is this? And you don't have to worry about it. And this has gone, okay, you've now entered in all the information I need to talk to Hive Web. So this is going to say, hey look, do you want to set the rig password? Do you want the rig password as your system password? In this case, I don't, because I already have set all of this up. This is going to say, oh hello, I'm just going to make sure everything's all set up and running fine, and then it's going to go from there. Now, as I've already done this, this should now pop up. It just needs a couple seconds to just catch up, because everything needs a couple seconds to catch up. So whilst we wait for that, it's going to go, okay, it's missing its flight sheet. Now, this is expected. Whenever you set up a new rig for the first time, it's going to need a set of instructions on how to work. That is the flight sheet. That is expected. So I'm just going to change the rig name to farm. We're just going to go with new rig. That's fine. The password is automatically generated. You can change it, but I haven't, seeing as this is not the main rig. This is not the main one I'll be using once I'm done here anyway. So once you just change the new rig name, I've done that for my own sanity. I'm just going to click update worker. It's going to change here. It's going to say, hey look, I'm now a new rig. And it's going to show you what it's done here. And it'll output what it's done here. Now, the nice thing about this is you can send it commands from the browser, from a browser. So for instance, we'll just do ping 1.1.1.1, and it'll just send the command to the machine. And then once it's done, these 3 dots will stop. Once the progress bar stops, once it stops anyway, it'll just say, hey look, I've done the things you've asked me to do. And then we'll go from there. So we'll make an entirely new flight sheet for the benefit of this video. So we need a flight sheet then. How do we make a flight sheet? Now, once you've clicked flight sheet, it's going to say, hey look, I don't have a flight sheet. It's going to give you a red triangle here. To manage the flight sheets, you just click flight sheets. It's going to take you through to the flight sheets page. And it's going to go, hey look, can I have a flight sheet? It's just, this is what will come up, and you can create it. So in my case, I will be using RYO. My wallet will be main because I've already set up the wallet, but I'll do that now. I'll tell you what, I'll set it up anew entirely. So I'm going to grab my wallet address. This is for a demonstration as well later on. My wallet. Just going to go that, and we're going to go display wallet. And the source is going to be RYO wallet atom. And we're just going to go, okay, click create. And here we are. We have a wallet. Now, the pool we're going to be mining with is RYO. We're going to be using mid-range hardware, seeing as I'm currently using a 1050. Like, it's not the best. It doesn't require external power. That is one of the things I like about that graphics card. And then we're just going to go click apply, select a miner. Now, in this case, it gives us a choice of miners. because RYO uses the Kryptonite GPU algorithm, it is FPGA and ASIC resistant, so you can't use them to mine because it's a graphics only. We're going to use XMR stack, and we're just going to go with, I don't know, words. We'll give that that'll be the name. Click the flight sheet. It's going to go, okay, here's the instruction set. We're golden. As we can see here, my main rig is offline, but that's just the one I was using prior. Now this is going to go, okay, I don't have a flight sheet. Can I please have one? Once you click the flight sheet, to issue the flight sheet with all the information on it to the rig, all you need to do is just make sure you've got the one here. So in this case, this is display wallet with words is the flight sheet. This is doing that, and then just going to go click the rocket, and it's going to go. It'll send it off across now. As we can see, it's working its way along. It's applied the settings that are the defaults. Reconfiguration has been changed, and it's working away fine. Now you can see the activity by clicking the activity tag. It's just going to show what you've done, how you've done it. The ping command will never finish until you kill it, because it's constant cycling. With Linux, a ping command will cycle until you tell it to stop. And as we can see here, it's gone, okay, commands have been issued, and I'm now mining. As we can see here, Kryptonite GPU, which is the algorithm, it's currently mining at 391.2 hashes per second. And the graphics card is performing at 54 degrees Celsius. Now, we can change this around with the auto fan settings. I'm going to set the auto fan on. Target temp of 73 degrees Celsius and a minimum fan speed of 50%. So that should keep everything nice and cool. Now, my server isn't exactly in the best of place for cooling at the minute, so that will ramp up, but that's because I don't have it in the best of place. But that's just my issue. I can figure that out on a later time. Now, to prove that the RYO is working and that I've got it set up correctly, we'll come here. As we can see, this now says new rig, and this is the one we have just set up. I'll just give this a quick refresh. Now, when it comes to checking how to set up and start mining RYO, you want to go to, because I'm using the RYO currency main pool, it's just pool.ryo-currency.com, and then click worker statistics. And then once you're here, it'll show you what you've done, your transaction history all the way back. I've got 9, as you can see here, I've mined a total of 961.225 RYO overall since I started mining. And as we can see here, this is saying, hey, look, I'm currently working. And we can back this up by coming here and saying, hey, having a look here. This is mining out. It is working fine. Now, don't worry about this saying 54 gigs of space. It is sat on a 64 gig SD card inside of a USB to SD card adapter sat in the front of the computer. So that's expected. So once we've done that, we can just have a look, saying, okay, the graphics card is running at 68 degrees Celsius. We can see it's running SK Hynix GDDR5 memory with that as the firmware number. That's a very strange firmware number, but there you go. You can change all the clock offsets and all that, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it be. It's fine. It'll do me just fine. Now, we can change this around if we want to. Now, if Kryptonite GPU is not on this list for popular clocks, so just going to have to leave it as is. Maybe it'll get added on in the future, but that's totally fine. We'll just do Kryptonite. Yeah, there's no Kryptonite GPU. There's Kryptonite CCX, which does use the exact same mining method as RYO, because RYO came first. The people who made RYO originally did work with, well, as we can see, there's nothing found here. The people who made RYO originally did work on the Monero project, but they couldn't get the privacy features they felt were necessary added to Monero, so they just split away. So we have RYO coin. But once you've got everything all set up and nice looking, all you have to do is just log in from anywhere in the world. If you log in with your So we'll go through the login process just for the sake of sanity. So you created your username. For instance, this is my login. And it'll do that. Now, whenever you log in for the first time with a new device, it'll then send a code to your email saying, hey, look, this is new. I don't know who this is. Can I please have the code? You can set up two-factor authentication after the fact. I will be doing that once I'm done here. But as we can see now, everything's all running along fine. The main is now seen as dead, but it's not. It's just running fine. As we can see, everything is all running fine. This is still the main account as it was before. But that is how to set up. That is how to set up HiveOS to mine RYO currency. Now I'm going to show you how to convert RYO currency from RYO into Bitcoin, and then from there we're going to send it onwards to Ukraine. And I'm going to do that live with you. So to convert it over to convert RYO from RYO to Bitcoin, you need an exchange. Now, in this case, I'll be using the website TradeOgre, as I've used it before to move currency around from one to the other. So as we can see here, there is a fiat pair, or it's not a fiat pair, there is a conversion pair of RYO to Bitcoin. As we can see, it's on the up. I am just currently waiting for what appears to be my RYO to come in. Okay, as we can see, it's currently pending, so we're just waiting for the confirmations here. So we'll check back once we've got the confirmations. Now, whilst we wait for the deposit to be made, because this needs 100 confirmations to be active on my TradeOgre account. So to be able to prove this, I'm going to just go grab the RYO Blockchain Explorer and bring it here and say, so this is the transaction that I made from my RYO wallet. As you can see, I've just been logged out. But this is the one that I made. There has been so far 6 confirmations on the block 615682, which we can see is here. As has been attached to that block, as we can see, this is the one I made. It's just been confirmed now. So once it's been confirmed, to convert the RYO into Bitcoin, we need to click Markets and go RYO, and then click Bitcoin RYO. And then when it says available RYO, we want to click that and then just buy as much as we can. Once we have done that, we need to go back to our balances, and we can again select this time Bitcoin this time round, and we're going to go withdraw amount to your wallet. Now, my wallet is here. I'm just going to grab my wallet address. I show my addresses. That's the receiving. That's receive. Yes. So we're just going to go new address. This is the wallet I will be receiving from. Of course, this expires in 1 day time. I'm assuming I could just probably change this if I wanted to. And then we just go, okay, put that there. And then withdraw. Seeing as I currently don't have any Bitcoin sat here, that's not going to do anything. And then once it lands, you can then do what you want with it. As we can see here, I have sent and received RYO before using TradeOgre, because I've turned RYO into Bitcoin before and deposited that into my Binance account for crypto. Anyway, that's how to do it with how to mine RYO with Linux. I'm going to show you how to mine RYO with Windows. Now, we're going to use XMR stack, which is what we're using on Linux. And so you'll need to download XMR stack from GitHub. I'll include a link in the description. Once you've done that, you then want to click the executable, so XMR stack, and it's then going to walk you through the install method, well, the setup method. Now, we're going to use a simple setup because it works perfectly fine. No worries. The RYO coin is included. It gives you a load of our other algorithms of currencies, but in this case, we're just mining RYO, so we're just going to type RYO. It's going to need a pool address. Now, the mining pool I'm going to be connected to is the main RYO pool. So for that one, it'll just be pool.ryo-currency.com with the port 4444 for medium range hardware. We now need to include the wallet address, which is where everything's going to be going to. There is no password on this. This pool does not support SSL because that's not the 444 the 4444 pool is not SSL enabled, whereas the, I believe it's 4445 is SSL enabled. Yes, it's 4445. Because I'm not using that pool, we're just going to ignore that. Now, to prove that this here is working, we are going to go back here and go RYO pool official, give this a refresh, and as we can see here, we currently have 2 running. I'm going to stop that because it's going to start causing issues with recording, and I don't want that. Once that's done, you're all set up to mine RYO and send it on to Ukraine. Now, I'm just going to wait for my RYO to clear on TradeOgo, and then I will send it onwards to Ukraine once I've then converted it and done that. I'm still waiting for the remaining 94 confirmations, but once that's done, I'm going to send that on. This is the Ukraine. This is the official Twitter account for Ukraine. This has the country of Ukraine's crypto accounts. I will be sending it to that Bitcoin address. Now, when it comes to sending cryptocurrency to Ukraine, you have to make sure you are sending the correct amount to the correct. You have to make sure you're sending it to the correct address. Now, this is the verified account. I'll include a link to this in the description as well. This is the Bitcoin address there, Ethereum and Tether. USDT is Tether, as well as Polkadot, because they also accept Polkadot. Anyway, this has been how to mine RYO to help Ukraine. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I'd like to thank my patrons, Raining Hazmat and Ashley, for being subscribed over at Patreon, where if you subscribe, you get early access to videos, as well as a few other benefits. Anyway, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I've been Nick. You've been amazing. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.